Good day, I'm Jaco Deacon from Fedsas. We're very excited about this Heylead project about leadership and that you form part of this project. Leadership in a school is not only the school principal or the school governing body, but learners play a very important role in the Learner Representative Council. We've invested time in the Heylead project not only to develop your own leadership or to assist you to make a meaningful contribution towards society, but we need your help in the school. In terms of the Schools Act, learners must serve on a governing body, and you are going to elect representatives from the Learner Representative Council to serve on the school governing body. This is your opportunity to make a huge difference in how we run the schools. It's not only about old people making decisions on behalf of the learners, you get a direct say in how the school operates. Speaking of which, what is a school and how do we operate the school? Let's look. What is a school? In terms of the Schools Act, a school is a juristic person. And me and you are natural persons. Now the difference between a juristic person and a natural person is that on the one side you've got a living body and on the other side you've got a structure like a school. But we've got the same rights. I've got a right to privacy, I can enter into contracts and I can take part in the normal activities that normal people would do. But if a school enters into a contract, the building cannot approach the other party and sign a contract. We need ears, eyes, feet, and that's the governing body. So they become the ears and the eyes and the feet of the school to enter into contracts. But there's something important to remember. A school as a juristic person is separate from the Department of Education. And let's demonstrate that. On the one side, we'll have the school as a juristic person, and on the other side, you'll have the Department of Education. And between these two entities, you'll have this huge cliff. And you cannot simply move from the one side to the other side. You need a bridge to cross over. And that bridge is called, in legal terms, the principle of legality. In other words, there must be a principle to follow from the Schools Act which allows me to move from one side to the other side. So the department cannot simply interfere in the affairs of the school, and the school can only do, the governing body, what the law allows them to do. And that's an important principle to remember. Now, what is a governing body? Already referred to the fact that the school is a juristic person, and the governing body becomes the eyes and the ears and the feet of this legal entity. In terms of the Schools Act, we must have a governing body. They're responsible to operate on behalf of this legal entity. And the Schools Act is clear about the composition of the governing body. Let's have a look. You'll have the school principal, then you'll have the educators, the non-educators, the teachers, and the learners. And if you watch closely, you'll see they've got different caps or hats on. And the moment they move into the governing body, and then you might have fireworks. Why? That will happen when the parents only represent the interest of the parents on the governing body, or the learners only represent the learners on the governing body. But something else must happen on a school governing body. The Schools Act says every person on the governing body must act in the best interest of the school, and this is how it's supposed to happen. The principal must be there, the educators must be there, the non-educators must be there, the learners, you will be there, and the parents will be there. But when you move into the governing body, everybody will change their caps. And there's a single cap for everyone now, the same cap. And that's what we call the best interest of the school. So the learners can differ from the parents. And you can differ from your school principal. But there's actually no need to vote on anything because you're going to discuss the best interest of the school. By the way, you'll have exactly the same voting rights as your school principal. He's got only one vote. He cannot veto. There's no super vote on behalf of the principal. And you are more than one learner, so you can actually outvote your school principal, but don't do that. We should act in the best interest of the school in terms of the Schools Act. No school can function without leaders or quality leadership. And you form part of the leadership in your school. So it's not only the school principal and the governing body, but the Learner Representative Council will play a vital role in providing guidance to the school. You've been part of the Heylead process for a few weeks, and now you get the opportunity to put that in practice. So as a member of the governing body, you will be the voice of the learners, and you should take part in all the deliberations and discussions in the school governing body. From time to time, you might feel that you are too close to a certain matter. Then you can ask the chairperson to recuse or excuse you from that specific part of the discussion. It might be a friend that's discussed or a teacher, and for that portion of the discussion, you may leave the meeting and then return later. But it's important to take part in the discussions, exercise your leadership and be the voice of the learners. It might seem like a daunting task, and you might be afraid that you don't have all the information. But we've got a website, www.fedsas.org.za. Every school has a unique username and password. Use it, browse the website, get all the information. Be part of a good school, be part of the leadership, and make a difference.